It's that Friday feeling again. Guys and girls, welcome to the Friday call. Let's say hello to a few people. Laurie, Barry, Bob, Don. We got Lynn and Richard, Stefan and Colin. Hello everyone. Tonight we'll be talking about how to protect your content if one of your clients chooses not to pay you. All that and a lot more here on the Live for You with DFY Magic Themes. Good evening or good morning, wherever you are around the world. Well, hello. Good to see everyone. Good to see such a full room tonight in the Zoom room. If you're not a member of the Inner Circle, why not? Because you get to meet like-minded people on the Inner Circle Facebook group, and we give out extra golden nuggets when we switch away purely to the Inner Circle. If you want to join, you can go to dfymagicthemes.com/live4u. How you doing, Robert?
You know, as you say that exciting music, first of all, makes Friday. It's like, it's like starting the weekend. It's like it's like you're about to go home from work and it's time to go have a weekend. And that reminds me that the weekend is coming. I enjoy my Fridays, and the internet business, no matter what part you do, is lonely. And that having that group of people come in, like-minded, like you said, and share golden nuggets and successes and wins and things, even the things that go wrong. Because you know what? If somebody does something wrong in what they're doing, you can learn from that before you do it. You know, what if that one, there's an old phrase that I say all the time, one aw shit kills 40 attaboys. And if you think about it, that's how it always is. You make one mistake and it takes away from 40 good things that you did. And that's how clients view that. You make one mistake, they don't talk to you anymore. They just want to stop paying you. Well, tonight we're going to talk about what happens when the client says, I don't want to pay you anymore. And you just spent 6 months or more working and getting their site all together, right? And working, and everything's good on their end, and they just don't want to pay anymore. What are you going to do? How are you going to protect yourself? That's something that has always bothered me, and I've lost clients, right, that have done that to me, fixed all their problems, all the things that they messed up, and then boom, no more income. They're still making money because you fixed everything for them, and you can't be sour grapes, but you can do the things that make sense to protect yourself.
And the worst thing is, and I've had this happen to me, I've built a site for a client on their domain name and on their hosting, and you go to log into WordPress, you can't get in, you message them and go, something's happened, and then they go, oh, I'll go around, I'll have a look tomorrow, and they never get around to it, and then they stop communicating with you, and then you've realized you built this site for them and you've got no access to it whatsoever, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, we're going to show you in a moment what to do about it. But before that, Richard said, and don't forget also about the golden nuggets that the Inner Circle members share too. Absolutely. We get some great golden nuggets.
That, maybe I didn't.
No, I thought I'd read it anyway, just in case.
Absolutely. No. Sometimes, I'll tell you what, the people in the Inner Circle bring up topics. They share things that have worked for them, that are successes. Yeah, which is awesome because that helps everybody. They also bring up topics that, what about this? Can we do that? Is this possible? We've been doing this, and everybody wins because if it can be done, we look into getting it done if we haven't so far, or somebody shares how to do it already. It's a great thing. And that morale, that camaraderie of like-minded people trying to get to the same place and sharing what it takes to get there. Because I'm no different than any of the rest of you. I get depressed, I get lonely, I get, you work, and sometimes you just can't get to where you want to be. It doesn't go fast enough, but you got to stay with it consistently from point A to point B to get to your goal.
And also, something new in the members area now, I'm just going to share my screen to show this. The members are going to love this. Under the Inner Circle tab, we've got obviously access to the Inner Circle Facebook group. Once you sign up, you go in there. Where how to join the weekly calls, there's a link in there to join the weekly calls. But now, this was the last week's call under the April edition. And of course, we're in May now. There's going to be another box added below, and we're going to add tonight's call into there as well. So you'll better go back and watch the calls accordingly. We'll probably do this in reverse order. So May will be in between Secrets and April. So April will be at the bottom, and you'll be able to see all the previous calls as we do them in one place, rather than have to search in the Facebook group under media. We'll be putting them in there for you guys each week. So you can go back on things. We're not going to go back beyond last week's, because that's going to take me hours to do. And if you want to look back on past ones, you go to the Inner Circle Facebook group under media and videos, and they're all in there currently. So you can look back accordingly on past ones. But moving forwards, we're going to keep adding them. So you'll be coming here.
We mentioned that before, that we always want to go forward. Now, there are times that, as some of the Inner Circle members have mentioned, that there were certain things that we shared, or certain resources that we could go get, that they want to have access back to. And we don't want to forget some of those things, but the majority of the building process, the majority of what we're doing now in the MCB and the MLB is different than what we were doing 6 months or a year ago.
Yeah.
So other than resources, like things that we can go get, social media or whatever, we want to move forward. And that's why going back 2 years of stuff is not going to really help as many people as they think. But the reality is, that's why we have the support ticket system, which, there's your segue, Stephen, because we have a lot of messages coming in that are not getting answered.
Yeah, so me and Robert talked about this week. What we're going to have to start doing is, if we get a direct message on Messenger, I've set up an automation when my computer's on that will reply to people on those, and you'll get a message saying, please open a ticket. And it's not me being rude, it's the fact that my Messenger I'm getting messages from all sorts of different people all the time, and I can miss your messages. So what we like everyone to do is raise a support ticket with the issue, and then if we feel we need to do a call, we'll reach back out to you and say, oh, can we book in a call, please? Now, we've been asked by people as well, what if I want one-on-one time with Robert or Steve? Well, we are going to introduce a section in there where you can actually book us and pay for an hour if you want to, but we're still going to offer the calls with the support side, providing you raise a ticket and we feel we need to jump on with you, because we've got Greg as well in the support team who can answer most questions, posting stuff and bits and pieces. So it's just a case that we want to be able to support you guys better. And as we grow, if I'm getting loads of messaging coming, I'm going to miss them all the time. And one happened the other day where someone had messaged me, and then 2 days later went, "You never got back to me," in a bit of a snotty message. And I messaged back and went, "Well, first of all, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not here to be a personal assistant. Secondly, have you raised a support ticket?" And went, "No, raise a support ticket first. We'll have a look at it, and then the team will look at it, and then we can help you after that." And that frees me up as well to focus on other bits and pieces I need to do for you guys to make sure that things are running smoothly. And we have a documentation in there, so if the same problem comes up again and again and again, we'll pick up on that and we'll go, well, okay, well, this has been an ongoing issue. We must now do some training on it or find out what that issue is. We've said from day one, the Magic Code Builder plugin, we're going to look after it. Someone requested if it's possible to have site-wide spin tax. and the dev tried to add it, and we found that it was breaking some themes out there, because there's thousands of themes. And this is why we came onto this subject tonight of it's all very well wanting to put your content directly on page, but what happens if you get locked out of that site? Let's say that someone you're building a site for who has admin control over it suddenly goes, you're locked out, bye-bye. You've lost it, and you've spent all those hours building a site up, compared to put your content inside of a shortcode with the MCB, and the moment you disable it, and I'll show you that in a minute, the content's gone. So I'm going to share my screen now.
And I can see it, the points both ways, and I tested it myself. The way to look at that is, if it doesn't make sense to you, create your own shortcodes with your own abbreviations, if you will, or categories or labels, and make it make sense to you. But at the end of the day, if you get more of your content into the shortcodes, when that license turns off, there's more of that site left blank than with content.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you the disable the plugin way on here, because I'm not logged into the back office at the moment. But in our back office, you can hit a button that will turn off the MCB plugin. All right, and you have control of that with it. But in this case, what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to deactivate it, which is pretty much the same, does the same thing. And you'll see now on this site here, if I refresh this site, no, there's hardly any content whatsoever. As you can see, there's some on-page content, but not a lot. And so instantly, this site's broken. Well, if you're paying a client, right, and you put all your content inside the MCB, and suddenly it's just shortcodes, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to ring you up and go, my site's broken. Oh, is it now? Oh, well, you locked me out, so I can't do anything about it. So then they come back to the drawing board, how to rebuild it. Now, the good news is as well, just to show you, I don't know if I could, let me just re-enable it a minute. What I'll do, I'll have to mend this afterwards, after tonight, but it's fine. If I go into license and I hit deactivate, and we refresh the page, can you see here, all shortcodes and license? If I go into all shortcodes, right, I can't edit the shortcode. So I can't get to that content. There's no way I can get to that content in here right now, right? So the bottom line is that this is protected so that no one can access that content, full stop, all right? And
they can't even remember what it was.
So they would have to come back to their site and rebuild this up from the ground up to make it make any sense. So if you are building a client site, this is ideal to put content, as much content as possible, inside of the shortcodes and build it out that way. Because that way then, and also it means, think about this in another way, right? Client wants to do an update on their site and they don't understand the MCB plugin. Well, that's a bonus, because then they got to pay you to do the content update. So it's a great advantage with this plugin that we've built out, and we got some exciting other updates as well to share with you. Your bit, Robert, are we sharing that to everyone, or just the inner circle in a bit?
You know what? I think we're going to do it for just the inner circle.
Good. I thought you might say that. But what we are going to talk about now, and so that's the MCB plugin. If anyone's watching the replay of the videos, you're interested, just pop in the comment below the video where you've seen this MCB plugin, and we're happy to reach out to you, because we're in the middle of revamping the sales page and stuff to get this ready to go out to market. All our inner circle members had early access to it, and we've made sure that they've all been looked after accordingly with it, so which is super exciting. Could you fix the formatting issue when switching from visual to text editor with the shortcode editor? I wasn't aware that there was a visual version, Robert. Oh, you fix the formatting issue. I'm just trying to understand what you mean by formatting issue. Are you saying that you're in the text mode and you paste in your content and then you go to visual? their fan. What we do, we'll come back to that for the inner circle, Robert.
Yeah, actually, when we watched the video, I went back and forth from text editor to the visual. I didn't have any issues, so maybe at that point we can address what we're looking at for that question.
Yeah, absolutely. But what I do want to do, I want to bring Laurie up. I'm going to add her to Spotlight because Laurie was one of the persons on last Tuesday night on the first week for the boot camp, and we want to ask you how did you find it?
I really liked it. What was interesting is we had such a great group of people that as you were going in through your training and everybody started jumping up with our own thoughts, how we could expand it and how it could really work for us. And we just got some great golden nuggets, and those are priceless because it gives you so many good ideas on what you can do, for your own videos and how to apply them to get rank juice.
And go on, Robert.
There's certain times that I myself don't feel like I'm a creative person. However, there's certain things that other people do or say that make me think to try to do something different. And once I get down that road, I can kind of like copy create, if you will, because they gave me the idea. And then once I had the idea, I can kind of just morph it a little bit to make it my own. But in the beginning, it's that blank page syndrome of I don't know where to get going. How do you get the script together for the content? And by the time that first call was done, the problem wasn't getting a script done. The problem was how do you get all these scripts to a video in a short period of time? There was too much to do because it was all the different ideas that people came up with of going after different niches, going at it in a different way. And the ranking part will become simpler as we go forward because Stephen has so much more to share in that area. However, week one was just getting started. Week one was creating a channel and putting the videos together, and then the ideas of how you're going to make them. But everybody sharing, just like the inner circle in that course, is what makes these things successful. And it just goes on and on and on, and it's fun when you see the time it takes to put a video together, and then you see it ranking in Google and ranking in YouTube, in a matter of days or a week, for the process. That's when it gets fun.
And it is super exciting, the direction we're going in. Yes, you can still get into the boot camp, Sarah. People can go to, remind me the URL. I'll pop it in the chat anyway. Week one's already in the members area. But you can go to dfimagicfilms.com/bootcamp2023. This Tuesday coming is the exciting part, right? It's the bit where we start building what we need to build to rank the videos. And what's cool about it as well is you can rank other stuff with it. That's the honest truth. And so once you've signed up inside of the main members area, it's already in anyone who's already paid for the boot camp. If you don't have access, you can raise a support ticket by going to dfymagicthemes.com/support and say, I paid for this and I don't have access, and we'll make sure you got access because all the week one's videos are in there. I've just got to upload. I don't think I've done it yet. I think I've got to upload the replay of the actual full boot camp, and that'll be added in there on Monday. It just took a while to render it. That's all. So we'll get that in there. But the stuff we'll be doing is very exciting, and I was very lucky to work with a friend of mine who knows people in Google, and so we get some inside information, tips and tricks of how to do this. And so I've taken what he's told me, but put it into easier bite-sized videos for people. So,
I can't even tell a lie because even the people that, well, they happen to be both inner circle members and they're in the boot camp, shared things that they've been doing in scripting. And we're going to get that into the members area this week.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the training. Not only do you really show step by step, literally, and explain it to anybody who's confused about it, but it's those golden shares that we get from members that are so far ahead of, for myself, me, that I thought, oh, I never even thought I could do that. But what a genius way to go about it. So it's amazing.
Yeah. And I
Well,
really
thank you for sharing that, Lori. And you know,
Yep.
anybody else that wants to talk about the boot camp is more than welcome. But we have to move on to tonight's training. And
yeah, thank you as always, Laurie. Much appreciated. Pop you out a spotlight. So yeah, so I know we talk about a lot of things on here, and you know, and tonight we wanted to touch on a few things along with protecting your content, which is really the main subject tonight, which is what we started on. And it is important to make sure you always have control of what you're doing if you're doing stuff for actual clients. So for an example, either you don't let them have access to the website full stop, but that normally doesn't, you know, until they paid you. A better way that I found, and it builds a lot more trust up, is to be able to have a system like the MCB, where then if they stop paying, you can turn the licensing off. And we do not have any way inside of the system that the client would know where the MCB plugins come from. We don't put adverts in there, so they would have to come back to you. You'd be the person that they'd have to come back to. Not that I ever plan to build a site for client, but just in case it freezes over, is there, or would there anyone share a draft contact of put in a site building contract for every terms of okay. we'll have to address that.
you know, to answer that real quick, with or without a contract, when you have the MCB and you're using it on their domain and on their hosting, if they want to lock you out, they lock you out, but they can't do anything about the licensing. So the license, we did this on purpose because it protects us, but it protects you guys that are using the MCB. Because as soon as you deactivate that license, as we showed earlier, any of the content, spun or otherwise, as long as in a short code, what appears as soon as the license is deactivated on page of that site is just the MCB shortcodes, not the content within that. And they can look anywhere they want. All they're going to find on the dashboard are the shortcodes with nothing that they can view as far as the content in them. So, you know, at the end of the day, if I was a client and I really wanted to have my site and I decided I want to stop paying the agency I'm paying, I would go and copy and paste the entire site myself and put it on a notepad somewhere, or try to replicate that site before I stop paying, because then I have my content. However, that's not how the internet works. People think that once they have the hosting account and they have the website domain, they're good and golden. They can do anything they want. They cut you loose. You deactivate the license. If they didn't copy it somewhere to replicate it, their site's down. Their site looks broken.
Also, to add to what Chris is saying, Chris, I know your plan you're on with us covers you for the commercial license of the MCB, and so inside of your members area, when you use a license, it'll show the URL of the domain name and the padlock, and when you hit the little padlock inside of there, it disconnects the site completely from the customer using it. And as far as the contract goes, the main thing I would write into this, say, please note that all content belongs to whatever your agency name is until such times that the site has been paid for, and that we have the right to disable any part or any of the content within that site. That way, then when they read that, they have a choice then to make themselves, plain and simple. And when I do my contract, I keep them simple. I don't go into long-winded rubbish. I have plain and simple, nice and easy in English, blocks of content. Have one page of stuff pretty much of, if you don't pay me, I'm taking my content back. Pretty much is what I'm going to say in a roundabout way. And that's the advantage of the MCB, because otherwise, imagine you build them a 30-page website. If they want to copy that content and save it on a notepad, well, that's their choice. They've got to spend all that time doing that and wasting their time. But the moment they stop paying you, right, and I also state as well, if they're doing a split pay option, if they stop paying me partway through, the site goes down. Plain and simple. And I will hit that button and turn off the content now. I used to have to use special backdoors the ways into WordPress sites.
Yeah, it used to be very hard and one-sided. I mean, the people that were paying were in full control, and you did all that work. And that's why no content creators and no website designers would do anything without at least half payment up front.
Yeah.
So now with the MCB, we can offer payment plans that they pay a smaller amount that they can afford and keep paying monthly until they either purchase the site or they're on the plan that you put together for your agency. I repeat myself, we don't run your agencies, you guys do. So whatever you created, whatever you want your agency to do or represent, that's you. But all we can do is say what we would think or what we may do. But at the end of the day, if you put a payment plan of so much per month, and it's going to build a site and it's going to add a location page every month, or it's going to put up 10 blog posts a year, whatever you decided to do, and they stop that payment plan halfway through, and whether you have a contract or you don't have a contract, you can turn off the license. It's that simple. Because prior to that, they had all the control. They had the payment. They had the checkbook.
Yeah. So two things to mention before we split away only into the inner circle, and that is, number one, if you want to join the video boot camp, you can go to dfymagicthemes.com/bootcamp2023, and the replay of all the content from last Tuesdays is already in there. And we're going to do the next meeting, which is going to be 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. UK on Tuesday evening. And ideally, if you get in now over the weekend, look back on the content that's already in there, because it'll bring you up to speed. And you don't panic if you can't make it to the lives. It's great if you can, because you can ask extra questions. But if you can't, all the content will be added to the members area accordingly. So, and finally, if you want to join the inner circle, it's dfymagicthemes.com/live for you, the number 4 and you. And anything else you want to add, Robert, before we say goodbye to the free groups?
Well, we're about to get into some more MCB tips and tricks that we're going to be able to spin links with anchor text. But I'm not going to share that here.
No, we're going to share it in the inner circle only. Right. Thank you, as always, anyone who's watching for free. We're now going over to the inner circle. We'll see you same time next week.
Take care, guys.